Yesterday kena already. I don't want to laugh at the ball. Chairman say okay, but
don't worry, off record.
Hey, call shot. Call shot lah. Say lah. You can lah, that's why. You can also push.
Actually, for you inside, outside, no outside.
That's what we told him yesterday. You asked him? You asked my friend.
Yeah.
Them, right?
We go in already. We say nice.
They say
Go.
safety.
Yeah. They see. You can rarely agree to that.
Bro, the last really lucky test. Anyhow, you can go take your own barricade. I think that's the WP one.
Yeah.
Last year, the first one, the last election. I'm the one who put one. The cameraman said it. I said, bro, you steady. I go and grab the barricade myself.
Put it.
Yeah, no problem. Then you lie down.
Hey, I block you. Sorry. Later I move. Later. Okay.
No. Either they lie down or you lie down. They'll see who got the ball.
Oh, which one is the either? Which one? But there were too many. Which one? This cannot.
The only one, right? The other one got
later I ask him to come
yesterday whack hard. No, the boys can dance. Cannot whack all the way. No. So I go protect for cat to do the people we don't want. So don't know whether tonight got mistake. No, usually the first one they will do that, but the last one they didn't. Last one, last time, 5 years ago, where got do? No choice, they want ambient. Yeah. But later we got this lah. Baru kena. Means I don't want last one I covered. I only covered 3 or 4 also. That's it. Last one. Then the rest I will see. Then the actual result day I have also. No, I need only one.因为他我问他讲的是外面还是 在捷运使用，我还在变成看了，我网上面看的是。Even if it's confirmed or needed to offer some review of it. What they will charge me. For this like microwave they use anyway, so you have the receiver. You have a repeater, so they make cable from us. The size of it.
Your idol is here. Your idol is here. Sure.
Actually, direct. So, just wait for you queue to see the time. You know what here?
Yeah.
Should be around 10 minutes.
No one.
Ain't no one yet. And everything flow. But yesterday, kau pada receive for that.
Okay.
The crowd was a lot.
A lot, really?
Because of that was their first rally this year.
Ah.
So I don't think they'll allow.
Just like a director's chair, right?
So the yesterday was
Yesterday, okay.
This your first time?
Yeah, my first time I thought like what am I supposed to do?
First of all is signing.
Yeah.
If possible, while we are doing the live stream, right, we can go
Because
but because usually once we go live, they receive those of you who want to see what is going on here, so we don't really go off. But we straight away after they cut here, then we want before the move off, we get correct. More like we cut off the thing, the library, then we record.
Even the grad people now, like, how to say, like, it's a range.
Oh, distributed like the crowd will grow like from my they will start off like because it's a weekend also lah, so I think there will be crowds.
I think so too.
But anyways, they are library. Yes, I think 7 p.m. sharp.
Okay.
Yeah.
30 seconds. You are only
All this
Cover.
goes what other rallies?
Yesterday was the reform party also, but it's Ang Mo Kio, Yio Chu Kang Stadium. And then my first one, it's quite new. You always did?
No.
Also, I see you can go Yio Chu Kang and one
Yeah.
Then the first one, SD. Oh, sing first. Singaporeans first. Yeah. Yes, it's not that bad. It's okay.
Talking to what? Most you step send to the left
Anyways, the mic is on so
everybody turn behind me and say what happened.
yeah, you give them actually you can go around here now plus once the rally start then we can
可以给补听哦。你看它的灯是什么颜色？你看它的灯是什么颜色？我操！把灯上面
Okay.
Okay?
Alias.
Okay. This is Happy TV reporting from Clementi Stadium where the Reform Party rally is being held. There are about 50 people here and the mood is relaxed. Right. Okay.
Just stay tuned for more coverage.
Stay tuned for more coverage.
Thanks. Oh yeah. Wait, that one? I don't know. Because there's
Okay, on. Say hi, uncle.
I don't even
You don't.
I don't like But the problem with the person, you want to go there, you want to what? This one is what? Light TV. How do you do? Yeah, but nobody does. Nobody knows. Yeah.
Why not?
Nobody knows.
Ask you something.
By chance you go to the light. Light. Today only, 2 days ago. Yeah. The last we went to West Coast. You know the behind the open lot. Yeah. What do you think? be happy now. First time, and somebody do at least say something. Somebody, not every time. No vote is not given the campaign. Yeah. But now most powerful tool no, social media, not the airways, social media. They would, I guess, be more professional question. Okay, yeah, try one of these guys. Oh, this is legacy of what I done. God. After, yes. So these guys understand what? And then, now they can tell the last person you are caught with it. I watch Fox News. There's this announcer asked the student, who is the most dangerous? Which one do you think is wrong? No, yeah, you are wrong. They are not the most dangerous. You know what I mean? Yeah, those people now they were shocked. How can you say that? We've done this together. Let's check.
Oh yeah, for them lah.
Yeah, sure. I would be here.
You got give any message or not?
For what?
You got any message again?
人家不吃了，没问题，我给他讲。That's right, I just heard it.
Yeah, you were there. What? I met you know, with his partner. Somehow I don't know. I wanted to approach him. I didn't even I don't know why. I want to talk to him. So he went to the block that to talk to him. I mean, nếu mà xem nào. Hả? No.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Clementi Stadium. Your host today will be Mr. Gary Singh.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, Singapore. Good evening to the people of West Coast. Welcome to the Reform Party rally. while we are waiting for the first speaker of the day, Mr. Jackie Low, he's coming over, and I urge you to be patient. Is everybody feeling fine tonight? I can't hear you. Come on, come forward. Ladies and gentlemen, the Reform Party is here, and we intend to win and fight for every vote of the people of West Coast. And we are here to be your voice. And let me welcome the first speaker for the day, Mr. Jackie Low.
Good evening, fellow Singaporeans and citizens. Are you all able to come forward? This one also. I'll give it. Testing. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow citizens, thank you very much for coming. I'll be the first speaker tonight, followed by your favorite West Coast GRC candidates. Okay, before I begin, can I have an indication that all of you are from West Coast? Whoa! Can you turn to your neighbor and say, I'm a West Coaster? And also, can you turn to your neighbor and say, we're here to make a change? Well, believe me or not, this is my second time talking in such large crowd. I normally do small forum and boardrooms only. Minions like us, mouse, we are yellow mouse, they are white mouse also. Okay, we at Reform Party, we have our own manifesto and a social agreement with you, a social contract, which I will spell out very soon. But first, before I begin, I would like to continue our National Day and talk and celebrate our Golden Jubilee, SG50. And fellow Singaporeans and electorates, do you know what Golden Jubilee means? What it really means? From the old ancient days to, it has a meaning. It is a time for payback. It is a time where the people of the land, the inhabitants of Singapore, are restored what is duly theirs. And even if they are not landowners, they are given back the land. That is the ancient celebration of jubilation. So I don't know whether you agree to such SG50. Maybe a few $100 to you. Is that Golden Jubilee to you? Not at all. Good answer. Very good answer. You don't have to be a supporter to answer that. It's a time where the rules of the land began to share the fruits of the motherland. Any motherland.com, by the way, .sg here. Motherland. Hello, Motherland. Motherland has a very interesting article about who's who if the opposition is voted into the parliament. It's a moniker. It's some kind of a spitting image of the men in whites, the ministers. It was very funny, I think they put Chen Xiaomao as the Minister of Law or something like that. It was very funny. But running Singapore is not a funny matter in our motherland. Because what motherland .sg has portrayed and jokingly portrayed, and we're making a joke out of that right now, is to actually mirror what PAP has been doing. Making fun of us. Making fun of themselves. It is a mirror. Because for the last 50 years or less, our lives has been screwed. The dagger goes into us bit by bit, and you didn't even know. Am I right to say that? The fruits of the motherland, we're still waiting. Do you believe it has been shared to you? Now, Golden Jubilee is a good time for all prices. Everything credit in the old days given back to you. You know, give you back 10%, 20% of the land takings. That's Golden Jubilee. Not some fly pass and upgrade that pays themselves. And nothing for us. Maybe a little bit of a few $100s for minions like us. So that aside, let me talk about land cost and HDB, which is my message into the Golden Jubilee. Now, HDB price has been very steep for the youth, young married, for too long. And it escalated recently from 2007 onward, or maybe before that. I can remember the first flat that was shared, that was sold. I met a customer in the bank one day, and she told me, I bought my house for 16,000 only. I nearly dropped on my chair. You know, I think they're pioneers now. Okay, let's not compare. Let's compare index and CPF and all that, and inflation rate. Okay, let me go back again to HDB price. It's been too steep for too long. 85% of Singaporeans live in flats built by the government, HDB. In this case, HDB is supposed to be a low cost, and Singaporeans were supposed to be able to own it, buy it, not take too long a mortgage over 30 years like now. It's called entrapment. So, what happened after that? Land costs start to be imputed, calculated into the HDB. And at that point in time, I think some Singaporeans got kaupe kabu. They did cry out, "Dad, Mom, what's happening?" It's only a little bit. So inch by inch, the dagger goes in, the price went up. Now, what's wrong with that? I can tell you, as an economist, a HDB assets is a public good. Any economists here, you know what's a public good? Where the exclusion principle cannot be. You cannot charge public good at exorbitant rate. Price plus 1-2%, public finance rule, rate of return after calculating the materials, that's okay. But to use high price and take all your CPF ordinary account, which is your savings, and no wonder we are not able to have enough for retirement, because a lot of money goes into HDB, right, Uncle? You and me, we are PMET, we went through it. So what are we going to do? What they did was ask you to sign a 20 years, 30 years mortgage lease and pack it to a SIBOR rate, which I explained yesterday. SIBOR should be intervened by the government, just like MAS intervened the Singapore dollar. They should help us lower the cost as much as they can, because the price is already so high. It's already built in. Inflation is already built in, no? So that's our social agreement. We are screwed now. What happened? What shall we do? They regulate the price. HDB is the price. Prices are supposed to be cheap. That's the whole idea and point of mass production. Cheap. And then fabricated like Lego. Even cheaper. And yet the price keeps going up. Low income, middle income. I do a walkabout where I came from in Ang Mo Kio, and I was asking Siva, why are the houses, beautiful houses in Chengshan, they're very dark inside. Oh, they're trying to save some electricity. What? Live in such a nice house but cannot on the TV? Except for the TV, they cannot switch on. They dare not switch on the electricity. That's how expensive Singapore has become. They're so frugal. Some of them are even eating instant noodles to get by. I hope your children don't. And all the ama akong, they start picking up things from the trash can, looking for Oscar or what? Oscar the trash man, Oscar the Sesame Street cash man. Yeah, it's a form of exercise, yeah. Thanks for reminding me for that. It's a form of exercise. I followed my friend Gilbert, I think he's going to be here in a while. And, I wanted to cry, but I told myself, no, I shall not cry like the man in white. I grit my teeth. I'm very angry. I feel for them. I say, well, I will cry when we win and we get into the parliament. We have time to cry. So we need you to do that. Our salaries and our home prices are intertwined. So that's why I bring this topic up. HDB prices is going faster than our payday, our actual pay every month. We hope that HDB will take cue from us. And after this election, whether we win or not, it doesn't matter. We want them to reduce the HDB price. How do we do so? They have few options, because they say you can't roll back what you sell people. At the Golden Jubilee, maybe do some credit into the mortgage that we took from the bank to help us alleviate this monthly frugal cost problem. That's one way. Because the money they earn, 100% or 1,000% that they took from us, adding the land cost, goes into where? Public finance or don't know where. And then it pays the minister. Right, we know the difficulty of unrolling back, but we can do it. There is ways. So if you vote me in, if you vote us in, there are ways that we know how to do so. That is why 30 years ago I decided to go to a foreign land and learn economics. They are not taught the way we are taught here, where the professors sit down and interview you and talk to you and tutelage you, guide you. So, from 20,000 in 1970, the HDB price, it's become 241,000 in 2007. And back in 1970, it's 2.8 times your salary. Now it's 4.1 times. Right? Per annum. So that's a lot. That's how we play with an index. So we know that HDB has gone faster than your salary, so that you can take a loan and trap yourself into it. So I shall not dwell too long into it. So, what are we going to do? Our government has to take care of us and give us a stipulated agreement to have a roof over our head, whether we have enough money to pay or not. We need to design something for them to fix, to reduce our mortgage that we took before. We need some kind of rollback plan, so that the next generation who buy the new flat at lower price will not be hurt when we sell the price. Am I right? When we sell. But what I'm trying to say is, take some CPF that we pay to HDB back to us. Put it back to the OA account. I thought about that for a long time. I have the similar plans for COE too, for those who cannot afford a car, for first time owners. I have some plan. But I don't have time to go too long. I only have 10 minutes. So, am I okay? Okay, so 90% who are debt-ridden due to home ownership, we need to have a social safety net. Okay, so that's why we are proposing that once the HDB put money back to us, that's my own manifesto, my own initiative. We shall return all CPF at 55 years old back to you. Is that big deal or what? No, I don't think so. It's normal. That was what I worked for when I started working in 1980 as a cook. I remember, wow, 55 years old is very long, but never mind, I'll reach there. And then when I reached 20-something, they say 55 no longer there. It's, it's locked in. Some of them are taken out to the Medisave and retirement. So I say, wow, it's a moving target. It's like, I used to play football under Tu Seng Kui, in the Farrer Park. And I Lion City Cup, I was a football player. It's like hitting the ball, but the goalball always shifting, You can never score. So, we also want to introduce, for those who own HDB and they are eating Maggi noodles and all that, my children including, I'm not too proud to say that, we are proposing $300 each child in a family to have $300 given to the family. And it's all in the leaflets that you have in your hand. If you don't have it, maybe you can pick it up from the table later. And for those who missed the boat on CPF, 65 years and above, we are proposing that $500 as some form of a very minimal, sorry if I say $500 only, but PAP still think that's a lot of money. Over 65 years old. And yesterday I spoke about minimum wage for those who earn about 1,250 and below. In world standard, that's absolutely poverty. Absolute. Even though they have computer, that's calculated as a poverty line white goods material, which we don't have a poverty line here. Which I studied a bit of that and I know what it is. I've actually been visiting homes. And for those who are earning 2003 or below, 2002 maybe, that is called relative poverty, So if you have brothers who are earning 2002, please don't say he's rich. He's got a lot of bills to pay. That's relative. Under Hong Kong, we are second, I think. Yeah. So, we need to rethink economic policies. We need to rethink how we treat our citizens. We need to also take care of small businesses. I have planned for that, but due to time constraint, I don't have much time to say. In short, we are going to cap some foreign workers coming here and get social contract going between us and you for you to be employed. Because to employ a foreign worker, you have to pay $1,000 levy. Why not give it to Singaporean, right? You all think about it, right? I read so much. And we also have a stake in GIC and Temasek. Isn't that great? Billions. 40 billion here, 20 billion loss, add up to about 100 billion losses. And Motherland.sg make fun of us, and they say that, that's what I mean. We are not bad. We learn. The man in white lost money for us. Motherland, if you're here, please listen. We are responsible people of the coalition opposition party. We will not, after suffering with you, we will not squander all the monies away. That's the thing. We are not game show hosts. We are not radio DJ. We are not a doctor that fix your ulcer in the ass. We are not Taxi Man Association kind of guy that is a yes man to the government. You call it tripartite. Well, we study that. My professor says it's a very funny system you have there. We are social activists, businessmen, RC managers. Siva, who is going to speak next, is RC managers. We are here to address and reverse the bad experience for the last 50 years or less. I waited 20, 30 years. I thought, PAP cannot be so dumb, right? They can't shoot themselves in the foot. They'll be better and better. I was wrong. So, if you're gonna put the cross on the land where they call unicorn, they say we are special. Prime Minister say we are a unicorn country, we are special. Then I say, good luck to you. Your money is not going to be back to you. Forget about it. Forget about it. They're not going to change for the last 30 years. I don't think they're going to change ever during my lifetime. My family, they're going to get their most favored people to be in office, which is why you and I are looking for jobs, which they contract out 1 year, 2 years to foreigners. There are no more permanent jobs, all contract. So we have a big government, but we have no jobs. It's funny. Okay, I'm asked to cut it short. Just in short, before I go, election is not about political fate of any PAP party or vis-a-vis opposition party. Election is not about how much the government can dish out to upgrade your towns and give you GSTV for the poor, the voucher. It's not about the sound of fury and one-upmanship, fix the opposition, say bad things to each other, in the press. No, it's not about that. I don't think I like that. Been on the receiving end by motherland, The election is going to be a very historical one. Whether you like it or not, it's the first time where all the wards are contested. So we need your help. We need your service. For those who don't go to army, this is your national service. PAP has run out of national solutions, which is why they are reduced to seeing themselves as town council managers now. They keep talking about town council. They are bankrupt of ideas, and they need us. You need us. You need a coalition. So, thank you very much. I'm in call to the backstage, and thank you for letting me speak for you. Thank you. So remember, you can make a change tomorrow for a brighter future. Today, vote for a Reform Party. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jesse. Let us welcome the candidate for the Reform Party. Please give them a big hand. Mr. Kenna, Ms. Nawani, Mr. Andy, Mr. Roy, Mr. Gilbert, and Mr. Osman Sulaiman. Ladies and gentlemen, the next candidate to give a talk is none other than the candidate for Ang Mo Kio GRC, Mr. Osman Sulaiman. Give him a big hand.
Anybody want this?
Good evening, Singaporeans.
Okay. So, one more. Hello.
Yes. Good evening, Singaporeans and West Coast GRC voters. I'm going to deliver my speech in Malay. Salam sejahtera penduduk West Coast GRC dan rakyat Singapura. Di bawah pemerintahan PAP, Melayu di pinggir dan terpinggir. PAP seringkali menuntut pujian apabila menunjukkan statistik bahawa orang Melayu telah maju. Tetapi ramai yang mungkin tidak tahu bahawa keadaan seandainya sekarang berpunca dari polisi-polisinya selepas mengambil kuasa pemerintahan Singapura pada tahun 1965. Baru-baru ini Encik Yaakob Ibrahim menyatakan dalam sidang akhbar bahawa AP Melayu telah menjalankan tugasnya dan performansnya baik dalam parlimen. Mungkin ramai juga yang tidak tahu bahawa AP Melayu kita di parlimen
tidak dapat menyuarakan suara masyarakat. Seringkali mereka berdiam diri apabila isu-isu sensitif dikemukakan oleh rakyat. Isu sebagai diskriminasi, isu sebagai tudung, isu sebagai SAF. Ramai membisu apabila di parlimen. Baru-baru ini juga, tahun 2013, Encik Yaakob Ibrahim telah mengadakan satu komiti yang independen untuk bertemu ramah dengan masyarakat orang Melayu. Selepas itu mereka mengeluarkan satu survey dipanggil suara masyarakat, suara musyawarah. Suara musyawarah telah mengeluarkan berbagai-bagai isu tentang bangsa Melayu kita di Singapura. Tetapi apa yang pemerintah lakukan terhadap survey suara musyawarah itu? Mereka tidak ambil tindakan apa-apa. Mereka mengatakan mereka peka terhadap masalah-masalah orang Melayu. Tetapi apabila telah dikemukakan isu-isu yang menyayat hati masyarakat kita, pemerintahan PAP tidak mahu mengambil tindakan untuk meleraikan keadaan. Encik Sidik Sanif juga telah menggesa rakyat, telah menggesa orang Melayu supaya menyokong PAP berasaskan meritokrasi. Saya tahu bahawa rakyat Singapura orang Melayu tidak beberapa agree dengan Encik Sidik Sanif, kerana ramai tahu polisi-polisi pemerintah yang berdiskriminasikan terhadap orang Melayu telah menjejas ekonomi orang Melayu sejak tahun 1965. Kalau Encik Sidik Sanif menggesa supaya orang Melayu menyokong PAP, saya pula menggesa orang Melayu supaya berpaling tadah kepada PAP. Minta maaf, lambat sikit saya punya bahasa Melayu ni. Selepas kemerdekaan 1965, kita tahu bahawa rakyat Melayu, bangsa Melayu telah dipinggirkan supaya tidak menyertai tentera-tentera dalam bidang pekerjaan dan di dalam tentera-tentera. Seperti yang ditulis oleh Tania Lee, ekonomi kaum Melayu melebihi kaum bangsa Cina di masa penjajahan British. Selepas diambil alih, ia menjuna menjadi yang terendah di kalangan kaum bangsa yang lain. Bagaimana ini boleh terjadi? Pada hari ini, apabila bangsa Melayu menunjukkan sedikit kemajuan, PAP dengan terus menuntut bahawa kemajuan itu ialah atas dasar-dasar polisi-polisinya. Sebagaimana kita mahukan yang baik untuk masyarakat Melayu, apa yang telah pemerintah lakukan untuk masyarakat Melayu, terima kasih banyak. Tetapi mereka harus akur bahawa keadaan orang Melayu hari ini adalah punca dari polisi-polisi mereka yang berdiskriminasi atas orang-orang Melayu. Jadi saya harap orang Melayu harus sedar, sudah 50 tahun keadaan orang Melayu tidak berubah. Kita asyik bekejar untuk mencapai kejayaan. Ada hurdles yang dihadapkan terhadap kami. Jadi saya harap orang Melayu tidak lagi menyokong pasukan PAP. Kerana PAP di parlimen tidak dapat menyuarakan suara masyarakat. Mereka bukanlah representative of the Malay community. Mereka tidak dapat menyuarakan isu-isu sensitif. Malahan mereka they take a stand on the government's position. Ini sangat membimbangkan, kerana apabila mereka mencalonkan diri mereka mencalonkan atas dasar minority representative. So apabila mereka tidak dapat jalankan tugas, kita tidak perlu ambil lagi mereka supaya menjadi representatif kita. Ramai orang yang bertanyakan kepada saya, Encik Osman, kalau saya mengundi anda untuk menyuarakan isu-isu masyarakat, apa jaminan anda supaya anda dapat menyuarakan rasa hati masyarakat? Saya bertanding di bawah Parti Reformasi. Parti Reformasi percaya kepada hak setiap individu. Saya tidak ada bermasalah untuk menyuarakan isu-isu yang sensitif. Kerana Mr. Kenneth Jararatnam percaya bahawa apabila kita mahu menjadi pemerintah, setiap lapisan masyarakat atau isu-isu berbilang bangsa harus dipertikaikan. Dan pada hari ini, saya berdiri di atas podium ini untuk dapatkan sokongan daripada rakyat-rakyat Melayu sekaligus rakyat Singapura. Undi Reform Party, kami akan menyuarakan isu-isu yang tidak dapat dilakukan oleh PAP. Dengan itu, saya harap anda semua dapat beri kita sokongan, kerana tanpa sokongan anda, tanpa undi anda, kita tidak dapat berbuat apa-apa. Kerana polisi-polisi kerajaan harus ditukar. Banyak rakyat telah menderita. The high cost of living telah menjejas banyak kaum Melayu. Sudah 50 tahun kita tunggu. 50 tahun juga isu tudung tidak selesai. Berapa lama harus kita tunggu? Saya harap pada 11 September ini anda semua dapat menyokong saya dan teman-teman saya di Reform Party untuk mengundi supaya kita dapat berbakti kepada masyarakat, menukar polisi-polisi yang tidak adil dan menyuarakan masalah-masalah anda di Parlimen. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih Encik Osman. Ya, memang betul kata Encik Osman, kerajaan telah memanggil orang-orang luar kerja di Singapura. Mereka kerja di sana, di sini. Tapi kita bagaimana? Kita orang Melayu bagaimana di sini? Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker, one of the lion slayer from Ang Mo Kio. Please welcome Mr. Silva.
Good evening, my dear fellow Singaporeans. I can smell the fear in PAP. Okay, this PAP, okay, if they don't want us to give birth, they tell us to stop. If they want us to give birth, they tell us to give birth. They just want us to be their yes men. Okay, like how the other yes men are in the Parliament. Today, most of us are contracted staff, so we should say no to contract stops, no to contract jobs in Singapore. Okay, Singaporeans should say no to contract jobs. Sorry. Even government once elected, it's 5 years, but we Singaporeans are working for 6 months or 1 year contract job. This should be stopped. And I don't know what the labor movements are doing. Okay, and some of the companies are saying that Singaporeans are not coming forward to find the jobs. To tell you the truth, we Singaporeans will even sweep the ground if we want to. Today, most of the job, and sorry to use the word FT, I have to use, okay, it's taken by FTs, from media industry to service lines to hospital to call center, everything, you name it, they are there. Okay, and their degrees, I don't know whether it's how true is it, they just anyhow bring their degree. They just anyhow unthumb the degree. They can print themselves. Soon these foreign talents, right, one day, right, don't be surprised, they will even become our Prime Minister. If in this rate, if the government import foreigners, in few years, we Singaporeans will be alienated from our own country. I think already we are feeling alienated. When I go Little India, the Indians are looking at me like I'm foreigners. Okay, and I've heard Chinese people telling the same. They feel alienated. So these have to stop. We are not against these foreigners. We appreciate their contribution. We should not scold the foreigners or show our anger towards them. If you want to show the anger towards anyone, you should know who to show. Just recently, at Ang Mo Kio GRC and Sengkang West SMC, on 29th August, they held a ceremony titled Citizenship Ceremony. I don't know why they held this ceremony just before election. By the way, I'm hearing a news which is speculating in the ground. They are going to form a party in next 5 years' time. It's called NCP. This party is called New Citizens Party. Okay, all these new citizens will form a party. Okay, do you want this to happen? So what you people must do? Vote for? Vote out? Okay, after a hard day of work, how many of you all come back home tired looking for offs and Saturday and Sunday? I think everyone. Okay, and some of us are even working 2 jobs because there's no minimum wage, there's nothing. We have to work 2 jobs to earn a living. 1 job itself, we are half dead. Imagine 2 jobs, we are full dead. But how come these MPs, they are looking care of about thousands of people in each GRCs? And they are even working in the morning, they have a day job, they are even a director in some companies, chairman in certain organizations. How come they don't feel tired, is it? Are they superheroes? So that's the reason why they are too tired to take care of the residents' needs. They are too tired to go and approach the resident. Okay, and of course, MP, they got their own pay, and their day job, they got their another pay coming in. So 2 times pay. Of course, more pay, they are not grounded. More pay, they become more rich, and they are off with most of the Singaporeans. Okay, that's why I suggest each GRC should at least have 1 or 2 full-time MPs just for the residents. We need more affordable education. Today, education is very, very expensive. We can't even use our parents' CPF to pay for our education. Before we even complete our education, we are indebted to the banks. We need minimum wage. Will secure HDB pricing. No need 6.9 million population families.
他们每一天日晒雨淋，都是为了什么呢？其实很简单，他们就为了养家糊口，对吗？对。可是请别忘记，他们也要交车租。生病呢？生病怎么办？生病没人可怜他们，你觉得这样对吗？我们让德士师傅给一些反应。我们大家为了新加坡，为了他的人民，几乎忘了自我。西海岸的选民们，你们一定要投革新党一票，让我们替你们在国会里说话。我们革新党相信，国会里不能只有一群不食人间烟火的高阶级人士，国会里应该也有一群能够真正理解平民百姓的领袖。我们就是这一群明白百姓的领袖。我们和你们一样，经历过水深火热的生活，我们明白你们，我们明白你的难处。只有你们最了解自己家园的需要。如今是我们革新党第2次参选，我们更了解人民的心声。只有我们革新党真正的清楚你的难处。我们革新党在此向大家承诺，当我们入选后，我们将成为一名全职议员，并将10%的收入捐出来。我们将全心全意的为人民服务。我们将不会在大选莅临的时才莫名其妙的落泪。 我们是人民的栋梁，请把票投给我们革新党。谢谢。Welcome, Ravi. Voters of the West Coast GRC. My name is Chu Lai Cheng, ND. I have been a member of the Reform Party since 2008. It is my pleasure to be standing here tonight. My team and I will be representing the West Coast GRC in the general election of 2015. Myself and Kenneth was also the candidate for West Coast GRC in 2011. The residents of West Coast GRC, you all need an answer tonight. It has been 4.5 years since the last election. What has changed? Did anything change to improve your life or to improve the standard of living? Did anything change? No! It is stagnant. In order to make this change, use your hands to empower yourself and put a vote to the Reform Party. You are here to make sure, yes. Have you noticed the sittings in Parliament? Yes. Look closely and you will realize the ministers are dozing off. There are people to spot it. There are people to spot everything. The ministers dozing off, the oppositions here and there are people who will post it online. I believe most of you have not missed it. Why is this so? Is it because there's nothing new to talk about? Is it true that the Singaporeans are so naive? They just being manipulated by the government? Singaporeans have a voice. Singaporeans are unique. Singaporeans have an idea of their own. Have they not been listening? Do you think they are listening? When there are new policies, the Mr. Yes Men will just, yes, you have a point. Let's make the policy go. The policies will make the change, but it's changing not for the better. If it is changing for the better, my team and I wouldn't be here tonight for the Singaporeans. It is now. It is the election 2015. We have to change this with your vote, with your mandate. On polling day, the power is really in your hands. Make use of it and vote for reform. Vote for the Reform Party. Vote for my team. Vote for our faces on the ballot paper. Why do they need the faces on the ballot paper? It is good that people recognize us, but it has been a hassle for our party to go through the process of submitting the photos. It is not that we do not know the process. It is not that we do not know how to take photos. It is a time frame. It is so short. After the parliament has dissolved, we have only 5 days to nomination. Firstly, I would like to say and clarify, we do not know when the parliament is going to dissolve. We do not know. Yes. And we do not know. I emphasize. Say for the parliament is just a wait. The parliament we every one of us went through the process to put everything in place. We sweat. We speak to the people. Time was really not enough. We managed it, but it ran out of schedule. We have reporters coming to us. Why are you not doing your walkabout today? We have them saying it was on your schedule. I have to apologize for that. It is not that we are not sincere. We have to make sure that this stage tonight is here so that I can stand here tonight to channel this out. This is not easy. My stage man is only here to erect the stage, to put it in place. I have to face the liaison officers. I thank them for the cooperation which made everything smooth. I was grateful, but I was upset. Why? This opposition are all made to go through this process. We care for all the Singaporeans like the PAP do. They can care for their elitists for all they want. Why did they neglect all our Singaporeans of the middle ground? We do not want to see our parents or even our aunties, uncles walking around picking up those cardboards or tins. This is not what they want. Last night at Ang-Mo-Kio rally, my team members were saying on the highway, 2 cardboard collectors was banged down by cars. It's not right. We can say, when they are picking up the cardboards, many years ago, we say yes, because they are old. Nobody wants to employ the elderly. They pick up for their livings to pay for their daily expenses. It doesn't mean they are poor. Their family can well support them, but they can't afford to stay at home because it is boring. So they would rather mingle around with uncle, aunties around. But today it is different. We have people not contractors. We have people from China going around, taking Siupo Zua Gusa Tho. Do you think it's right? In the past, we identified Karanguni as and then Siu Sa Tho. We know, but now they pong like selling ice cream. So, I'm not making a joke out of this. They are taking away what, or even the least that the elderly can do to at least survive for themselves. But they are taking away, and I ask, who are they? If they have the ability to come here to Singapore, why are they picking up cardboards? This is one thing I can't understand. I can only think of, they follow their son, who's an expatriate, to come here. And to compete to our Singapore. The Reform Party will propose to abolish medicine life premium for Singaporeans over the age of 65 and for those below 18. We want them to retire without worrying. How can you ask a person to pay for medicine life when they are almost 70? They get to pay, they say. If you can't, you pay using your MediSave. And what if the uncle or auntie's MediSave don't have money? No. Mr. Son of so-and-so, this is your father. Can I use your MediSave to pay? So that's your dependent. You have to pay. And if you do not have enough, pay cash. So do you think your MediSave will have enough money?
No.
You own a flat in Bishan. Your flat is worth a valuation of 100,000. It is only 100,000. But they boost it so high. So now your flat is worth 1 million. Do you think by having this 1 million, when you reach the age of 55, you sell your house, you tell me where is your money? I guess you guys are thinking, this is logic, this is not rubbish. I am sure that every Singaporean wants the money back. I know how to take care of my own money. If I do not know, I will put it in the bank. I do not need a PAP who calls themselves the government because they are holding majority of the seats to take care of my money. I will put in my bank and withdraw as and when I need it. Vote for the Reform Party and we are sure that we will get this money back for you. We cannot live with the status quo. Do not wait until it is too late. I am not able to wait for another 4 years. 4 years is very long, but it seems very fast for me because we do not have enough time.
we just hope and wish all the Singaporeans support all the oppositions. We will not ruin the country. We will not turn the country upside down. We are not what they say. We may look. They say we look like oppositions. The more oppositions they have to spend more time to fix us.
Because they wear white.
It just upsets me and my team members. The Reform Party will be fearless in demanding accountability and transparency. Vote wisely. Vote for the Reform Party. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Andy. What a fiery speech. Yes, they must return our money. What ours belong to us. What theirs they can take, but ours give back now. Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday we had a rally at this Ang Mo Kio. The response was great. The Prime Minister cannot sleep now. You see, he hang his picture everywhere, every constituency. So he is telling us the theme of this election is about him. So I say, yes, it is about you. It is about leadership. So for the past 5 years, if we are agreeable to what they have given us, then we will vote for PAP. But if we are not, we disagree to all these new policies, I think you know what to do. We vote all the opposition. Wherever you are, vote opposition. Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker, Mr. Gary.
Good evening, everyone. And I hope you're all fine tonight.
Yes.
The Reform Party has invited me to give a speech tonight as a guest speaker, and I'm very grateful. Why am I here in yellow and not white? If you ask me, it's about my identity as a Singaporean. It's about my identity in my own country. I'm basically being diluted in my own country. Besides being alienated. If you look around, if you go to work, you hardly see Singaporeans. And if you ask me, 30 years ago, 25 years ago, if you ask me, Gary, come join the party, I said, no, I'm sorry. Because 30 years ago, life was all about me, me, me. I mean, all of us, we are all chasing our dreams, our desires, our hobbies. But if you ask me now, I say, I'm sorry. It's no longer about me. It's about all of us. It's about our identity as a Singaporean in our own country. And for that, when I met the Reform Party 5 years ago, in 2011, when I met Mr. Kenneth, Mr. Andy, I realized there were people out there who actually care about Singapore, who actually want to look after the welfare of Singaporeans. And that's why I'm with the Reform Party. Let me share with you the Singapore dream. For those who were born in the 1950s, 1960s, 70s, 80s, I believe when you're growing up, your dad and mom will always ask you or want you to be a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer. And my dad wanted me to be a doctor. My mom wanted me to be a lawyer. And if my grandparents were around, I believe they would have wanted me to be an engineer. But I'm not a doctor, nor am I a lawyer, and not an engineer also. Because I said 50 years later, my minister will come and tell me, you don't really have to study to have a degree. You can always be here. Time. Those who are going out, they do their A-level. And one cannot lack wondering the money going to come. And do you think will get better in the next 5 years? Do you really think you'll get better in the next 5 years? Is telling you to vote wise. I'm telling you to think and vote. Because your vote. Thank you.
Elected to Parliament. One of them is a $300 per month child benefit. Even while encouraging locals to procreate, the daily expenses involved turn us all off. But surprisingly, first-time motherhood did not put off a PAP young candidate from pursuing her interest to seek re-election, braving it all. I suppose the monthly salary of an NMP could be a very good motivating factor. The rest of us need monthly incentive to relieve partial cost of childbearing. Another item on the Reform Party's election manifesto is to list the GIC and Temasek holding into share breakdowns to be owned by Singaporeans, similar to that of Singtel shares, or to be given free. We may enjoy dividends which is much higher than the SPF interest rates. The investment-savvy people may also want a stake much higher than that is nominally allocated and may even purchase those shares from the local boss. In this way, not only do we get a piece of the economic pie, but we also get to see the yearly financial statement, how the company is being run, provided us with instant check and balance. During a walkabout session, a resident voiced out, if we listed out the two main arms of the government economic generators, we have nothing else to back us up if we get into financial crisis. My answer to her is that unlike rich countries like the oil-producing Kuwait, which is literally floating on oil and hence the target of her aggressive neighbor Iraq, Singapore is floating on foreigners. More and more malls are built around Singapore. Instead of just having these places as holding areas for foreign workers on their days off, we need to showcase these shopping outlets to promote products and services so that they not only fill up the chasm with luxury goods and branded merchandise, giving the establishment good rental returns, they also attract foreigners already in Singapore and more may come to spend with our currency. I've seen a Western brand, Paris Hilton, in the holy Mecca city for Muslims. Surely Paris Hilton will be more welcome here. It pays to invest in such foreign design to boost local businesses, which in turn create more openings for Singaporeans to earn as well. Now I shall speak in Malay. Assalamualaikum saudara-saudari sekalian, terima kasih kerana dapat bersama kami di malam ini. Jika semalam di Stadium Yio Chu Kang saya mengatakan tentang isu duniawi dan ukrawi, hari ini saya ingin ucapkan tentang aspirasi yang disebutkan seorang Menteri PAP sebagai penyebab mahalnya hidup di Singapura. Antaranya adalah berpelajaran tinggi. Kita semua maklumi semua untuk mendapatkan kemasukan di pusat-pusat pengajian tinggi bukanlah mudah. Perlu bersaing dengan kaum pendatang. Saya pernah dulu di sekolah menengah bersama pelajar ASEAN Scholar. Datangnya mereka dari Malaysia, Indonesia dan berapa juga dari Hong Kong. Semuanya bangsa Cina atau India. Bukan Melayu, walaupun saya pernah jumpa beberapa orang pelajar Melayu yang ingin mendapatkan beasiswa seperti begini. Tapi mereka tidak layak dikatakan bangsa mereka Melayu. Seperti Bumi Putera di Malaysia. Tapi lain pula dengan rakyat Melayu Singapura. Jika kita tidak bersaing untuk memasuki institusi-institusi pemerintah, kita terpaksa memajukan diri dengan pusat-pusat pengajian swasta yang sekarang mahal sekali, melambung tinggi harganya. Dan ditambah juga dengan GST, semakin kita tak mampu untuk mendapatkannya, melainkan dengan bantuan. Ada subsidi dari pemerintah hanya pada peringkat diploma. Dan cuma baru-baru ini saja dikenakan sampai ke peringkat ijazah. Itu pun kena kita mohon dan juga untuk dilayakkan mendapatkannya. Dan juga kereta ya. COA bukanlah untuk orang kebanyakan yang sekarang ini mencapai beberapa ratus ribu pernah dulu. Semua rumah flat HDB. Tapi takkanlah kita nak tidur sehari-harian dalam kereta. Kita juga perlukan rumah. Pengetahuan awam juga tidak beroperasi secara 24 jam. Saya pernah mengutamakan usaha untuk dapatkan mereka untuk hanya meningkatkan masa untuk dapatkan bas atau MRT, tapi dikatakan tak ada trafik. Jadi dia menolak sokong cadangan sanggup untuk 24 di negara Boston dan sebagainya. Dia tinggal lewat atau mungkin angkutan awam. Bagi orang-orang Islam, saya rasa antara isu yang
我是苏元顺，我是福建人，我是新加坡土生土长的新加坡人，新加坡人 ，OK？ 福建人同我澳头村。今天我是代表革新党反对党来你人西海岸来竞选，2011年，我人本有来到竞选。你人可能唔捌我，唔明白我。今日我就甲你人介绍我家己。我从小伫河水山长大，河水山伫头徛了20几年。我人细细汉一家6口，徛放一间一房式的厅内面，暗暝困咧，你拢我，我拢你。我唔知你人有穿经验无？我人细细汉。因为家庭比较艰苦，我记着每个假期6月甲12月，就去做工，补大药，做 contractor 补土，做小贩，糕比店捧糕比，无像甲即阵的囡仔安尼好命。爸爸妈妈，我食麦当劳，爸爸这无好食，我莫食。这摆囡仔太好命了，所以我觉得我今日来，我唔是为着我家己，我是为着阮人这一代，甲阮人下一的下一代，所以我出来竞选，大家人问我苏元顺，你是毋是笑咧？安怎你出来竞选呢？好好人莫做你出来竞选呢？所以我今日我甲你人讲。我唔是笑，我是为着阮人新加坡人，我嘛是新加坡人。我退新加坡做兵做2年半，我细细汉伫河水山长大，伫河水山读册，中午拢总伫迄边，半工半读，半工半读的，伫风凉做工，做了暗暝7点到10点去读册，掠着我大学学位，澳洲墨尔本大学所以呢，我要跟你人讲的是，我是艰苦人，我会明白艰苦人的生活是安怎款的，无想到有的人坐放去斗空降， 所以伊人唔定着袂明白，你人食马配豆叶生化，你人应该会知影，还是你人有穿体验？我安怎要出来参加迄个革新党呢？因为我捌 GBJ 主席 Benjamin Jeyaretnam， 我捌伊，我甲伊讲句话，我觉得伊真正勇敢，真正有胆量，我真正敬佩伊，伊是我的朋友，所以咧，我参加伊的囝的党，我要将伊的精神这款拍死袂倒，拍死袂倒的精神，我真正敬佩。我要甲你人新加坡人讲，假假的，莫惊吓 ，OK？ 这种莫假假尽量勇，总之你咧，你若这种的讲唔是反对。部队会开，你会知影，有听到通缉，通缉咧，唔是政府了累，翘口的忝，甘无。有人问，有两个部长怎么讲出街？那是说一下。
When question the police, why do you have the right? Because you may be aware of rights. You say something that will impede you. That right had been taken away from you. So you watch the American movies. You have the right to remain silent. You tell the police who works in Singapore. So it's time that you ask the government to make it a law in Singapore to read your constitutional right to remain silent when you face police intervention. Further, when he can to his law, you go to the court, you got to pay so much of money. Parliament, I don't have to say. By the time you see your MP, you have to wait for a long queue. I don't know when he's going to come to address this issue. But you need to have an independent national human rights commission to address any human rights violations in Singapore. Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines, even Cambodia have National Human Rights Commission. Why don't we have a National Human Rights Commission in Singapore? So therefore, my dear friends, you need to make this an election issue, and you need to exercise your right to claim your democratic rights back from the government. You don't need your MP, you don't need your lawyers, but you need to ask as citizens for your rights. So it doesn't just, it doesn't just depend on your MPs and the courts and so on and so forth. You need to ask your democratic rights back. The PAP claim that we have one of the lowest crime rates in the world, which is true. But you know what? we have one of the highest rates of prison population in Singapore. Does that make sense to you? So we need answers, and you need to send the Reform Party to Parliament to put all these questions to the government of such matters which we don't understand. Another problem I wish to highlight is that we have too many laws in Singapore, and we get lost in these laws, and we get overstressed. When you need to smoke, just as basic as that, when you need to smoke, you have to measure how many meters you have to go away from the building, and then where to smoke, which tin can, which coffee shop, and all that. You want to relieve your stress, you want to smoke. By the time you find and measure, you get more stress. And then when you get more stress, you smoke more. Maybe it is a ploy by them to make you smoke more and take more taxes away from you. So what we want is change. Do you want change? My dear friends, what we are facing in this election is an awareness in the ruling party. There is a real crisis of confidence in them. No less than 10 MPs have resigned. There is fear in them. Why are they so afraid to hear our voices? All we want is greater accountability, transparency, and better governance. Is that too much to ask? Now, even as basic as our community centers, you can only hold your wedding functions and other social functions, but you cannot conduct any political activities. Why is politics given different treatment from other activities? Do you see this in other countries? No. So we need to claim our political space back from the government. So my dear friends, after all these rallies and campaign, it boils down to you when you step into the polling booth next Friday. All the efforts, all it depends on you. We have done all that we can. If you disappoint us, you are disappointing yourself. So strike the sun and not be struck by the lightning of the PAP. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ravi. From his speech, grievous injustice has been done to us, all Singaporeans. Our next speaker is our Secretary General, Mr. Kenneth Jayaranam. Please welcome.
Good evening, my fellow Singaporeans and voters of West Coast GRC. Sorry, I'm thinking in my voice from last night. Welcome to all of you. It's great to be back here on West Coast, even though it's disappointing that shameless gerrymandering has removed Clementi from our midst. Last election, I was very new on the political scene. But then, voting was very new to you too. Many of you had never voted in your lives before Reform Party came to West Coast and allowed you to exercise that precious democratic right. On walkabouts, we met an old woman who said that her only wish was to be able to vote before she died. They say a week is a long time in politics, and the last 4 years have been like several lifetimes worth of experience for me. So now, for GE 2015, we have become veterans together. I know most of you didn't really know who I was in GE 2011, except for my family name. You had no reason then to believe me when I said I was here for the long haul. I hope you know who I am now, and that you can trust what I say. At least, I hope you know my voice on national issues. I took the government to court over the IMF loan, $5 billion to Greece, when the PAP says, Singaporeans, we can't afford to pay our old people $500 a month so that they can live with some dignity. When they spend only $4 billion a year on public health care. But what did the government do? It got the courts to rule that as a private citizen, I had no right to bring an action. The only way we are going to get accountability is by sending us to Parliament. I have written letters to the Finance Minister, to the President, asking for explanation for discrepancies in the budget and in some of the funds that are under the Prime Minister. Have I received any answer? No! So you see, the only way we'll get answers is if we are in Parliament, where it will be on the parliamentary record. But the government, the PAP, will try and confuse you. They will say, this election is about town councils and local issues. Amenities and upgrades. They will tell you that only the PAP can deliver the goods in your estates and in your larger constituency. This is untrue. If they can do it, we can do it. But we will be better at it. This election, where finally everyone gets a chance to vote, is actually about national issues. It's a national referendum on PAP policies, or the failure of those policies to deliver you the life that you deserve. So you know who I am, or at least you know my public profile and the causes I have championed. But now I think it is time that I tell you a little bit about me as an individual. I have to say, I find it very hard to talk about myself. Actually, I'm quite a shy person and a very private individual. But I think that the time has come that if you are going to vote for me and to trust me, then you deserve to know am. Being a politician stage come naturally. Don't know if this is a bit self-indulgent. 9. Didn't have an order. Ministers, I was not on a government scholarship, but what we know as an FMS, a father-mother scholarship. Though for me, by that time, it was just a father-father scholarship. When I came back from my degree, the reality of a political situation hit hard, and no one would hire me, even though my qualifications were on a par with Lee Hsien Loong's. In the end, I had to go overseas, even though I didn't want to, as my father had already been jailed and lost his seat in Parliament. Working overseas was mostly a horrible experience for me. I was very lonely and had no support network. London in the 1980s was a very racist place. If you take a close look at my face, you will see a big scar, and that's because I was mugged at knife point. They wanted my watch that my dad had given me, and when I refused to hand it over, they slashed my face. So I was working in a Japanese bank in London when I met someone who looked past my shyness and saw me for who I was. She has been my lovely wife for the past 20 years. We only had one very precious child who is all grown up now. And if there's one word I would use to describe myself, it is family man. My wife was very ill in pregnancy. Our child had to be delivered very prematurely. But these are the life experiences which have made me who I am and given me the ability to empathize with the lives of the residents. In fact, when I took Roy to London and he stayed with us, he saw me with my family and he was astounded and saw a totally different side to me. I think you know the rest. I decided it was more important to be here than to be in work. My wife and I set my dad up in an apartment with a carer so he could live in some dignity. We paid off his bankruptcy. Then the old man, instead of taking it easy, and despite many offers from the PAP to rehabilitate him, started up a new political party instead. When he died so suddenly, I felt I couldn't leave his work unfinished. I joined the Reform Party and I started to dedicate myself to full-time politics. Then a strange thing happened. I found that when I went on outreach, I had skills I hadn't realized I had, and that I could help people. At one point, when I am very busy on grassroots, people wait for me at coffee shops with paperwork under their arms because I don't have a surgery that they can come to. The strangest thing about this and the changes in my life is that helping others has helped me. It has given a new purpose to my life. I feel that this is what I was meant to do, and for that I am extremely grateful to the residents of West Coast and Radin Mas. So, if you vote me into Parliament, I will be running a very tight ship on town council management. We will be ruthless in keeping the costs under control. I will be your champion on national issues in Parliament. And I will be a caring and compassionate MP on the ground. It really is time for change, but I can't be that change on the outside looking in. If I am to be effective, you need to put me into Parliament. Go Chok Tong says the PAP can be their own check and balance. That is nonsense. Every financial fraudster since the dawn of history has said the same thing. This government has ill-served you, but we will serve you better. This government doesn't care about Singaporeans, but we will care. The PAP have sidelined you, but we will put you center stage. I hope you will honor me with your trust, and that on polling day, you will remember the scorching yellow sun. Think of a local kid playing on the pipes under the scorching yellow sun and vote for the Reform Party. Vote for a brighter future tomorrow, today. Vote for my West Coast team. Vote for my Ang Mo Kio team. Vote for my Radin Mas candidate. Vote for the Reform Party.
Thank you, Mr. Kenneth. Our next speaker, the candidate for Radin Mas, Mr. Kumar Aparo.
Good ladies and gentlemen, you have come to know in 1981, history was made in where? In which district? Radin Mas! The myth of minority, GRC, has to be thrown out in this election. I am going to put Sept to the task. You must put me into Parliament, and regardless of race, language, or religion. Anson won because of the Chinese. He increased the majority in the 94 election. We want representation. Please answer my question. We want Reform Party in Parliament. They have said so many things about us. What is the responsibility of IMP? Besides policies, now we become taking after mosquitoes. Did you ever realize when you go to town council, you have issues that has not been addressed till today? You need campaign after campaign to remind everybody. So,
what is going to be the issue in this election is not about policy alone, about town council management. Your money. There's so many things happening in town council. One issue is how you run a town council. You have an executive committee, you got a management, and you got an operation. But what happened? All has been run by whom? We have to realize certain things on day to day. Because in 2008, you ever realize something happened? Your sinking funds was lost in Lehman Brothers. This money would have been well utilized to pay off people who are in desperate, who are not unable to pay their areas in their conservancy charges. Town council cannot run without us. Because why I'm saying that? They need grants. Grants means government has to support them. Without this money, you can't be able to do your infrastructure. So many things along the way. In this government, ordinary people in this government are special breed of men. The ordinary men in the streets are prepared to let the able people to be led. But expect these able people to have empathy. And strategical approach.
Might not know. I love children. Teaching children with autism takes effort and commitment. Our sessions with the children were one-on-one. The child break into laughter as you tell a story using the puppets. Now he was very smart. He will look behind my theatre because he know that the hands are making the puppets. And this is something you need to know. Children with autism can be very intelligent. Sometimes in public, we might think they behave awkwardly, but I hope that we can learn not to judge. Now, when we appreciate everyone as equal citizens of our country, we will learn that each and everyone has the capability to grow to their fullest potential. And that is what we must believe in all our citizens. Now, this is also something that touches my heart: education. We have not put enough resources to guide our children with special needs. Now, I know a family who has to work several jobs and to downgrade their home because they had to send 2 children, both with autism, to our school. But it is tough and it is very expensive. As a government, we have to ask ourselves, what is the responsibility to our citizens? Now, if we value our people, then we need to invest in our people. So that our people can blossom as thinking individuals and help our country grow. We have a responsibility to our country and our citizens. Now, Lee Hsien Loong said in his speech in his rally yesterday that the PAP has managed to make every school a good school. Do you agree?
No!
Now, to be clear, we have a good education system in Singapore. It has educated our people. But we must never stop making our education system a better one, a more equal one, and one that is fair to all our citizens. Now the first question we have to ask is this: do we believe that all our citizens have the ability to be the best they can be? Or do we believe that only an elite few can make it? I believe that everyone can become unique individuals in their own right, and who should be respected and who will excel. This is what I believe. Now, Lee Hsien Loong said that the PAP has managed to make every school a good school. Maybe he hasn't looked at the statistics. First, class sizes in Singapore are too big. Singapore has the largest class sizes among the developed countries. Second, Singaporeans pay one of the most expensive, if not the most expensive, university fees in the world. Third, the PAP spends $400 million in scholarships for international students, but it does not spend that amount of money for Singaporeans. I estimate that more than 50% of international students get scholarships, but only less than 5% of Singaporeans get scholarships. Fourth, the PAP spends the lowest in education among the developed countries. And fifth, when our students go into the workforce, Singapore has the largest wage gap among the developed countries. Now, when we say that every school is a good school, what do we mean? I believe that class sizes should be reduced so that our teachers will have more time to develop each and every of our child. I believe that the workload of teachers needs to be reduced so that our teachers can focus on developing strategies to guide our children. Now, I believe that if Singapore has become too expensive, but the government has become so rich, then we have a duty to invest back in our children. Finally, we have to implement a minimum wage so that the wages for the lower income will increase and the wage gap will be reduced. Now, Singaporeans have paid a lot into the CPF. Many Singaporeans ask me, why is the CPF locked up inside? When I use my CPF to pay for my children's university, why do I have to pay an accrued interest? When I use my CPF to pay for my housing, why do I have to pay for an accrued interest? Since the CPF is my money, surely we can be trusted to manage our own money. Now, if the PAP does not trust Singaporeans, how can we trust them? Now, if the PAP does not return our CPF, how can we trust the PAP? Now, yesterday, Lee Hsien Loong said that the CPF can earn an interest rate of as high as 6%. He asked, so why, when you go to the opposition rallies, they never mention this? Because if they mention this, nobody will vote for the opposition. Now, maybe Lee Hsien Loong wasn't at our rally yesterday. Of course he wasn't. He didn't hear our speeches. Today, let's respond to Lee Hsien Loong again. First, will Lee Hsien Loong tell us how many people exactly can get 6% on their CPF? Now, second, will Lee Hsien Loong tell us how much of our CPF actually gets 4.5%? Third, will Lee Hsien Loong tell us how much of our CPF gets only 2.5%? Lee Hsien Loong says that the CPF can get as high as 6%. But what is the truth? The truth is that most of our CPF only gets 2.5%. Where is the 6%? Why won't Lee Hsien Loong say that? Because if the PAP mentioned this, nobody will vote for the PAP. Now, in fact, why won't Lee Hsien Loong let Singaporeans know how many Singaporeans cannot meet the CPF minimum sum? We estimate that as many as 90% of Singaporeans cannot meet the CPF minimum sum. Why won't the PAP tell Singaporeans? Why won't the PAP be transparent to Singaporeans? 为什么人民行动党不肯跟新加坡人坦白？那怕黑？有什么好怕的？如果黑我们都不怕，怕白干嘛？
对呀，不要开车呀。
Lee Hsien Loong said that Singaporeans are not silly. They are not ignorant. They understand. They are wise. I agree. We are not silly. We are not ignorant. We understand. And we are wise. And that is why we will vote the opposition. And that is why we will vote the Reform Party. Now Lee Hsien Loong said that he thinks that the CPF is taking good care of the old people. Then Lee Hsien Loong, we are going into the Ang Mo Kio GRC. Are you ready to lose your seat at the Ang Mo Kio GRC to collect cardboards? We will take good care of you when we go into government. Now, if we believe in equality, then we must believe in equality. Our policies cannot be divisive, and our policies cannot break our people. Now, I believe in a Singapore where our people are confident of themselves. I believe in a Singapore where our citizens are proud enough to speak up. I believe in a Singapore where we will stand up and where we will fight for ourselves. And I believe that in SG50, Singapore and Singaporeans will finally stand our own 2 feet and gain independence back from the PAP. Now we must never forget what our nation stands for. We must never forget what our fathers and what our forefathers fought for our country. We must never forget the sweat and toil that they gave so that we could become a more equal society. We must never forget that. It is time to regain our right, our land, our country, and take back what we own, and take back what belongs to us Singaporeans. Now let us put our strength back into the country. Let us help our country move forward once again, so that our citizens will be protected. Let us make the change, and let us fight for a better future tomorrow, today. Now Majulah Singapura! Merdeka! Merdeka Singapura! Vote for us! Vote for the Reform Party! On 9/11, when you go to the polling booth, mark a cross next to the Reform Party. Fight for our own future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Roy. Our next speaker, one and only Mr. Gilbert.
Hi, Singaporeans. How are you tonight? I'm your very last speaker. Please don't go out. I only have 5 minutes. Singaporeans, this is the election that you have to vote wisely, because you are voting not only for yourself, but your children and your children's children. 3 years ago, in 2013, the Prime Minister has approved the proclamation of this population white paper, and this white paper is harmful. Do you want this white paper to be passed to us Singaporeans? No! It is harmful because it costs us our jobs, Singaporeans. S passes and EP passes are there, and they rob us of our jobs. 400,000 foreigners are here as professionals. Many of you are affected and are standing right here. I can name you 10 to 20 of you are affected by this white paper. Am I right, Singaporeans? Mr. Ghani right there is affected by the white paper. He lost his job to a foreigner. Am I right, Mr. Ghani? He is there. Give him a hand for supporting opposition. Do you want change, Singaporeans? Do you want change, Singaporeans? Do you want change, Singaporeans? Shout along with me. We want change. 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 Because if change don't come to you, by the year 2030, half of this population will be consisted of foreigners, new citizens, who will continue to vote PAP into power. 6,000 new citizens are absorbed into the electorate every year. Right now in this election, 200,000 new citizens are voting against you. The next election and the next election, more new citizens will be here voting against you, stealing your job, saying to you that this is my territory, this is my country. Singapore is for Singaporeans, am I right? Yeah! Singapore is for Singaporeans, am I right? Yeah! This is my country. Yeah! Why should I, when I go for an interview, be approved by someone who is from another country so that I can have a job? Many of you go to interviews because a foreigner is there interviewing you. You lost your job because this foreigner is bringing his friends, his villagers into this country of ours. Is that fair to us, Singaporeans? That is not. That is my country. Singapore is for Singaporeans. I love my country. Many people say I'm xenophobic. Do you think I'm xenophobic, Singaporeans? Do you think I'm xenophobic, Singaporeans? I love my country. I'm anti-immigration, and they say I hate foreigners. I've been held to the police station many times for lim kopi. I'm given warning 3 weeks ago by the police. But I still dare to say, this is my country. I'm against foreigners coming to my country. I'm against the Labour policy. I love you. Right, I have friends who are from Hong Kong. One of my coaches is from Hong Kong. But I'm against the immigration policy, Singaporeans. It is harmful to us. If this election, you still allow the PAP to form the next government, your next 5 years will be miserable. Trees will break down as often as this period. Jobs will be lost. If you have a degree, you'll drive taxi, I promise you. Many people I saw in my NGO who have degrees and master degrees, right now they are driving taxis. Do you think that is fair, Singaporeans? No! This is my country. If I have a degree, I should have a good access to a good job. And why should jobs be given to foreigners first? Why shouldn't be given priority in the job market, Singaporeans? Is this fair to us? No! It's not fair to us. I have only 5 minutes, and I want to endorse the West Coast GRC team. Can I ask the West Coast GRC team to stand up? Andy, Kenneth, Dorina, and Darren, give them your applause. These are people who will fight for you, Singaporeans. Vote for them. Vote for them. They've given you the time. They've given out money. They've given out their sacrifice. Vote for them. These are nice people, Singaporeans. Give them your votes. Give them a loud cheer. Give them a loud applause. Thank you, Singaporeans. Singapore for Singaporeans. Thank you.
Thank you. Vote for Reform Party. Don't forget that. live peacefully, don't cause any problems. Yeah, we don't want any problem from the police. So when you live, peacefully. Thank you.
Thank you, Singaporeans. Good night. What for? Okay. Vote for Reform Party.
Can we just ask some questions for hi. Okay, don't film me. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so hi. Basically, do you want to see more opposition in the parliament?
Yeah, definitely I do. That's good for the progress of our democracy.
Right.
Give him the mic.
Sorry.
So okay. Yeah, that's about it. So which channel are you?
We are from Happy TV.
Where is this going to be posted?
It's going to be on our YouTube channel. It's a live streaming right now. Okay. Yes. What do you think about the Pioneer package?
Pioneer package, not so sure about it. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. Thanks.
Should we ask? Hey, hi auntie. Can we just ask you some questions?
Simple one.
Very simple question.
Okay. That's pure.
Yeah. Basically, do you agree that we should have more opposition in the parliament?
Yes.
Why do you think so?
Because must have some changes. Yes, because we like to some changes of opposition party go to the parliament. We want to have better changes.
What changes do you want to see?
Mostly like to changes CPF and housing, about the transport. Everywhere is traffic jam. Almost go to MRT also. Take MRT also is very crowded, like sardine like that. Have no place to, even we take transport also, we have to stand to crash with them. Early morning, even the evening also the same. It's very difficult to us.
Thank you.
One or two more? You can interview the candidate also.
Okay.
We do one last one.
Maybe we do the candidate.
We do one from the crowd, last one, and then we do.
Okay, can. Maybe one younger person. Hi. Is it okay if I ask you some questions? Alright, no worries. Hi. Is it okay if we ask you some questions? Okay, no worries. Could we ask him? Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for coming, everyone.
Hi. We are from Happy TV.
Yeah.
Right. So sorry.
Question, okay?
No worries.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hi. We just have one question. For you, Mr. Gerard. Do you think that this year we'll see a credible opposition in the parliament? That there will be, concrete changes to the parliament, to the changes in policy.
Depends on whether the opposition is credible. You can see it. We've got the Reform Party are very credible. They've got serious policy alternatives. If we are in Parliament, we will be. We'll press for transparency and accountability. You'll just see how credible we are.
Thank you very much.
One last from the audience.
Uncle，我们可以问你一些问题吗？
你是从 Happy 来的
啊，我们是 Happy 人。
What is Happy？
我们是一个YouTube channel， 我们现在来视频而已。OK， 好。
OK， 可以。
OK，Uncle， 我们要问你哦，你觉得李光耀他有没有你觉得他付出的是什么呢？对这个对这个国家，
应该是从一个怎么讲 undeveloped country 啊，变成一个 developed country， 这个我觉得很好咯。还有就是从一个没有 natural resource 的地方变成一个这么发达的国家，我觉得很好。这样。
好，可以。你觉得今天的 rally 怎样？
今天的 rally 啊，好像人不像很多这样，不够人这样。不过也是 OK 了，可以了。希望呢，应该是多一点人来看，来听一下。不过我觉得今天的等等不大好。这样了。
可以，谢谢。
Okay, 谢谢。
拜拜。
Focus today and then
how do I sign? Just give me a minute. Wait, they just send. Wait, they just send something. Yeah.
Okay, one. Yes, okay.
安迪，我们可以问一些问题吗？来。OK， 华语还是英语？随便。OK， 安迪，我问你哦，你觉得Jared Nam 他把自己的个人的故事告诉你们，你觉得怎样？
觉得very touching. And then he experienced all the loneliness and experience without family, next of kin with him. That is very desperate because I got a child, I got a daughter who live in Australia. She everything on her own. So sometimes I can understand his situation. Yeah.
So so does it make you support him more?
Yes, I will support opposition party. No more for PAP. Anymore. My votes all go to opposition party. No more PAP. It's enough. Yeah, we suffer a lot. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Auntie.
Yeah, thank you.
One more.
See what they say. I think it's fine.
Okay, can.
Okay, thank you for staying with us. This is Happy TV, and we will see you next time. Good night. 安迪，你可以在这边看。